Hi, everyone. Welcome to Live with Celeste. I am with James today, and we thank you for coming in. I know it's a Friday afternoon, last Friday before Christmas. I know a lot of people are busy, but here we are. We have a special guest. His name is James. And James, tell us more about you.
So my name is James Bocalbos. By the way, thank you, Celeste, for bringing me into your world of podcasting. My name is James Bocalbos. I am a nurse by profession, and I am a real estate investor on the side.
Perfect. Great. Great. So, on your journey as an so I am an immigrant coming from the Philippines, and I knew you from a friend. Her name is Cheryl, a common friend of ours in Sub Two. So anyone who doesn't know what Sub Two is, it's kind of a community that James, myself, and Cheryl, which is our common friend, belong to. It's a community of real estate investors. There are nurses like James in there, property managers, single moms, dads, and it's just every walks of life you'll find in there, and it's a collaboration um, of investors that just help each other navigate the world of real estate and investing. So your journey as an immigrant, what are the challenges you faced along the way?
As an immigrant coming to the United States way back in 2006, one of my biggest challenges working as a nurse is the culture and the lingo communicating with patients who are in. I know to speak English. It is the lingo sometimes that they tell me, and it frustrates me that I can hardly understand what they're telling me, especially those in relation to their health. Um, Way back then, we were told,
Mm-hmm.
and Philippines has been, colonized by the United States for a lot of maybe I don't know how long. So we were taught how to speak English. I can talk, good English, and a lot of nationalities admire Filipinos because we can talk English language. Now the thing is, it's the lingo. Sometimes the colloquial things that they
Mm-hmm.
would tell us is sometimes different from what we grew up with. So that's actually one of the basic struggle that um, coming and immigrating to the United States and working as a nurse, dealing with patients, and that's the most common struggle of immigrant nurses in our field of healthcare.
Yeah, yeah, because even in the Philippines, so we live in a lot of islands, 7,000 something islands, and then we have different dialects. I think most Filipinos know how to speak English than the national language that we have there. And so, like in the States, they do all speak English. However, they have certain accents. Like I live in Boston, in Massachusetts. We have the Boston accent. And then if you go to the Midwest, it's totally different,
Mhm.
dialect. And then us coming from a totally different language and then being transported in here, we know like the proper English that we learned from school, right? And then when you speak here,
Yes.
it's a totally different thing. I work in the healthcare field before. I was a manager before at a GI facility, and so that's one of the struggles too, because if you want to explain something to them, you got to translate it in your head or something like that. But I think most of all, even if we consider it kind of like a challenge, I find it very I think it's an asset. Having to know one more than one language is really an asset because it makes you think a little bit more. Your vocabulary is more. But yeah, so that's one thing. And you becoming so the nursing field itself, it's dominated by women. And you coming in, I
Yes.
remember back in the day when I was working at a hospital, they were looking for male nurses because they're just built different. They can carry certain body types, and they just a little faster, a little stronger and stuff. So there was a huge demand here in Boston before, when they were looking for nurses. And I would assume that was like, was that an incentive on your end, being a male nurse going into the field?
Um, I don't think so, but I would say that I have a an edge compared to my female counterpart because I deal with situations where difficult situations wherein some patients would respect a a male person, because they would
Mhm.
sometimes think that this person is a doctor, which is, I do have a medical degree. Now the thing is, when you come here, oh, they give you more respect compared to female nurses. Why? It is just a perspective that a patient has. So,
Mhm.
but with the employer, with employers dealing with female or male nurses, it doesn't make any difference. I don't get any slap. We are treated the same way. I don't
Exactly,
get paid
exactly.
more being male.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, so a lot of my friends, they come up to me and they say they go to the hospital and encounter nurses and stuff like that, and they want to thank me for having a lot of knowing a lot of Filipinos that are nurses. And I was like, I wasn't even a part of that. That's it. But I was like, okay, thank you, because they do know the care. Like if we take care of someone, it's really like we're really care about them. It's just not just because of a job and stuff. Because being a nurse, I don't think you can force yourself to really care. You're how long have you been a nurse for?
So
I
I
think there's nobody
graduated.
here.
Oh, I think you
Can you hear
froze.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but your video froze.
Okay.
Oh, and I can see. Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Now,
Okay,
what
great.
was your question? How long have I been a nurse? So,
In the field, yeah.
I got my nursing degree way back in '95, back home in the Philippines, and I got my RN license, I think, in '96 or '97. And after that, I didn't work as a nurse. Went into business with my dad.
Mhm.
I would call myself a
Mhm.
janitor because basically we were cleaning carpets in the metropolis, in Makati by itself.
Mhm.
So I am a
Mhm.
janitor, and I am not ashamed about that. So after
That's
that, I
right.
was
Yeah.
like, this is not scalable. I said, I went into med school in '98. I graduated in
Mhm.
2004. I got my medical degree in 2004. In 2006, I came to the United States. I
Mhm.
was planning of taking the medical licensure exam here, but because of I have two or three jobs by that time, I didn't get a chance
Yeah.
to take the exam. So I said it is something that I miss, but I really don't miss it because at the end of the day, even if I'm a
Mhm.
doctor, I'm probably gonna be making a lot of money, but I'm still gonna be an employee. Which
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
this point in my
Exactly.
life,
Exactly.
uh, I have a different perspective of what I wanted to do.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Perfect. So, saying that, did that motivate you to transition from healthcare and now to the field of real estate investing?
I since I was a kid, I'm always an entrepreneur. I would make money out of
Perfect.
nothing. Trust me. I live back then in my
Okay, I would love to hear about that.
I grew up where in just across the street there's a bowling lane on the third floor.
Mhm.
Third grade, I don't know how
Mhm.
old is third grade. 9 years old. I was a pin boy.
Yeah.
I was putting up pins for
Mhm.
those playing in the bowling lane. I made a lot of money for
Yeah.
an 8-year old. And that's something that I was
Mhm.
like, I'm proud of. I have more money than my cousins and my brother. When I
Yeah.
was a little older, but I was still in grade school, I was washing cars. Those jeepneys, I was washing those.
Yeah.
I made a lot of money, and
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of that. Back then, the mode of transportation in our city was like the three wheeled pedal. You have to manually pedal.
Yeah.
Is called tricycle.
Mhm.
At some
Bicycle.
point,
Yeah.
I said, because my uncle, which is our neighbor, parked it in our house. And I was like, I asked him, can I use your tricycle? I made money out of it, and I'm not ashamed of it. I
Mm-hmm.
make money
What were
out
you
of
doing with
nothing.
what were you
I
doing with
save
the
it.
money back then when you were little? You save
I
it? Oh
just save
wow.
it
You
and
didn't buy
buy
ice cream
myself.
or anything?
Yeah, I buy myself and treat my brother and my cousins whatever they want, maybe ice cream or whatnot.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. So, yeah, early on you had that inkling already that, hey, I don't have to beg for money. I can work for money and I get paid for it. And in turn, I can do whatever I want with the money I earned. So
Yes.
that's great because yeah, back home, what did I do? Yeah, so my mom sells, sells a lot of stuff. My dad was a painter and in construction, and he used to blow up what do you call that, like the bridges and stuff, so he would be gone months at a time. We were not seeing him, then he would only go back home, and stuff like that. And my mom would have like a side job selling different types of everything. And she would like bring us with her and all. So I saw my mom doing that, but you yourself, you're doing it on your own, which is
Oh
great.
yeah.
So I think, yeah. So, and you said your parents had a business too. So like really working and hustling is really not new to you. It's something that is like in you already when you were little.
So I was brought up by my grandparents.
Mhm.
They were educators. They were teachers. So I was brought up
Mhm.
that since I was a kid, my grandparent was telling me, you have to study hard, do good in school, have a job, and save and maybe retire. That is the culture that we were brought up in. Nothing
Mhm.
or whatsoever. You have to be an entrepreneur, put up a business, employ
Mhm.
people, make money, and invest that money. None among my relatives or close circle of
Yeah.
my family member are entrepreneurs. I said to
Mhm.
myself,
Yeah.
we are all faced with the same opportunities. Just for myself, me and my brother and my
Mhm.
cousins, we grew up. There were four of us. We were exposed to the same opportunities, but I was the only one who took the courage and took action. That I can make this. I can make money out of anything.
Mhm.
That's why I'm proud of. I said I'm proud of what I'm when I was a kid because being from we are, I would say even though my grandparents are teachers, we are on the lower middle class. When they retire, I do remember my grandfather still has to work side jobs. I mean, it's something that they didn't prepare, and my aunt
Mhm.
has to send them money from Manila, and it is something that they didn't prepare enough. And then I said, it is something that I don't want to happen to me and my family. Um,
Yeah, yeah. So I guess because we were trained to be workers. Like I've dealt with that too. Like you go to school, you follow certain, even in school, you go to school, if you want to challenge, especially in the Philippines, right? You can't even talk back to your teachers.
no,
You are trained to just follow whatever they say, right? So we're like trained to be workers, just, worker bees, do what you were told, save what you can, and then live your life like that and all. So that's one thing for me too. When coming in here, I never knew about real estate, but I know that we have to earn more money because, again, having four kids and stuff. And so that's one thing that we want to learn too. So financial independence, you can't really do that unless you have a job that you have to be present in order to earn money, which is being a nurse is, which is being a doctor is, anything that requires you to be present in doing the job is not giving you freedom, right? And so we want to veer away of that and have a business that earns money even if I'm not there, like doing it remotely,
Exactly, yeah.
which
The thing is,
slowly, little by little, I've been trying to do.
financial literacy has never been and is never taught in school. I am a self-taught. Now, I be I took up nursing, had a medical degree, and I was actually 9 months away, 8 months away from finishing my nurse practitioner program. And in 2022, I was like, no,
Mm-hmm.
I stopped, went to real estate because
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, I became a nurse practitioner. I'm still going to be an employee under a doctor's supervision. I am not. I said I don't want that. If I don't work, I don't have any stream of income. There's no backup plan for that being a W-2.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's why I wanted to invest in real estate to be financially
Mm-hmm.
independent, to have different streams of income, to
Mm-hmm.
have be financially independent from any employer. That is my the ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. So, since joining Sub 2, which you said you joined sometime last year, tell us about your first deal. So, I'm always
Oh,
excited to hear everyone's first
my
deals
first
because
deal
it's
was
kind of like, for me, it's kind of like nerve wracking. So, let me hear about it.
okay. My first deal was I think last November of last year. I was scrolling Facebook and came across a property that's like maybe 15-20 minutes away from where I live. I got in touch with the wholesaler, which is also a sub to a student, and then we talked, and then went in there, checked the property, and then we were negotiating, and then I locked it up. I used my money to I think the down payment was, if I'm not mistaken, 5,000 or 2,000. And we were in negotiation, and then I was like, my next struggle was I don't have money to put aside to pay for this property. So I was talking to my friends, my coworkers, and then, oh, why not ask this and that? And my coworker is liquid. I asked him. I told her I have this deal, this and that. I need this X amount of money, and I'll give you 10% per year for your money that you're gonna lend me. As Space said, if you are presented
Okay.
with a problem, create some chaos. I created some chaos in my own circle of friends. I've been asking people around me
Mm-hmm.
if you have this and that.
I like
So
that. Create some.
I solved my problem by opening my mouth. I just run my mouth. That's what I do. I run my
Mm-hmm.
mouth to solve problems. I said if I didn't ask, I wouldn't know. It's either a yes or no, but there should be an answer. If
Mm-hmm.
there's a no, I look for another avenue to solve my problem. I am kind of a person that I don't
Mm-hmm.
take no for an answer. I always look, if
Mm-hmm.
it's a no, it's not a roadblock. It is something for me to be better. So
Mm-hmm.
after I took I put it under contract in November, December 22 or 23, before Christmas of last year, me and my 2-year-old son, back then, he was 2,
Mm-hmm.
we went to the closing table in the title company. We spent maybe 2 or 3 hours there on a cold December afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember it's really windy that time. So we were closing on the closing table. My wife didn't know about it.
Yeah.
So we closed. Okay. Dang, the property is now mine. So I use other people's money to pay for the property, but still I got the
Mm-hmm.
325K property. It is I think a 356 with a 2.25 interest rate, purely sub to for the next 28 years. And I'm cash flowing
How much is the interest
grossly.
rate then that you continue?
It's 2.25. You will never see that
Wow,
interest
that's
rate
nice.
in my lifetime. And my
So you got a 300 plus thousand house.
with zero money in, I no $2, 2,000. I put in as a down payment.
You're, yeah, 2000, and
Uh huh.
then 2 point something interest rate, and
Uh
without a
huh.
balloon,
The balloon of
without a balloon
250,
payment. Okay.
which is a balloon payment towards the seller, which is 15,000 in 7 years. Grossly,
Okay.
I am making 800 plus monthly gross income. I didn't expect that much.
Yeah, because some people they get maybe 100, 200 on their rentals, but you get more than that 800 and stuff, which is great. So that's a single family home that you acquired
That's
fully
a,
sub to?
yes, that's a single family home. Actually, let me backtrack. That is actually
Mm-hmm,
my
mm-hmm,
first creative deal. Way back in no, in February 22 of 2022, I was looking.
mm-hmm.
We closed on a property. My wife didn't know about it, and I just told her in front of my boss. I said we have to take this day off on February on the 22nd, and she asked me what, why? Oh, because
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna be having closing. What do you mean closing? Yeah, I just bought a property. So we closed on a property on a Tuesday. I think that was a Tuesday. On a Saturday, I have a tenant in there. I didn't even clean the
Yeah,
place.
that's the surprises that I like. I like surprises like that. Just bring me to a closing. I'll, that's a good surprise. Yeah.
So Tuesday we close.
So that's exciting.
Saturday,
Your first deal,
that was actually
pure
my
sub
second
two, and you did it
property.
on your own.
Yeah, and so Tuesday we close. Saturday I have a tenant there,
Your second
and I'm
property.
cash
So what
flowing
you closed on
almost
February
500.
22nd, was that a sub two as well or no?
No, I was not in sub 2 yet. It's just my second property that I bought as an investment
Mhm.
because
All
my
right.
wife
So
would
how many
not let
investment
me.
properties do you have now aside from your primary?
I have one townhouse, two single family homes, one duplex, and one short term rental in Florida. And all of these are cash flowing except the one in Florida.
That's nice. So, all right. So who manages those property? Do you have partners that manages those property? Do you employ
Me.
a property management? You manage
I'm
it.
right.
So you have a property management company?
I am the property management
No.
company.
So you got a lot on your plate. You have a lot on your plate. So that's one thing for me too. That's why we put up a management company because I'm managing it anyway, right? Might as well put up a management company and then bill it that way. In our on our end, it kind of like worked better that way. And then I quit my W2. But then you're a nurse, you're managing all those properties. And so my next question, how are you juggling those? They said if you love what you're doing, it's as if you're not working, right? So I would assume that you like what you're doing. Otherwise, you would have been pulling your hair out and stuff. So what's your schedule like? Having a full-time job and then the property management, which is kind of like another full-time for you. So
So I work 3 days in a week, 12-hour shift. So days, or sometimes after coming from work, I would stay up until I let my son go to sleep. Sometimes I would go on like 24 hours awake. And that's normal for me. it is just something that I'm used to. I used to have three jobs, so don't get me wrong. And between the bookkeeping, managing my rentals, it's not that hard. I just have to integrate my business in how I take care of my son. So you have to integrate everything. I don't believe in balance. There's no such thing as balance. People would say you have to balance your life. No, you are
Yeah,
living
there's
in
no.
a different
Something's gotta give
world.
always.
Yes, there's no such thing as balance.
Mm-hmm.
Integration,
Mm-hmm.
integrating your time with something is all what you have to do. Because balance, that means this is how I define balance. You have a gratification, and 50% gratification is the
Mm-hmm.
same as 50% problem. You don't want that. You have more, you wanted to have more gratification or have more success than failure. And that's not balance. There's a gap between that. If you say balance,
Mm-hmm.
there's more failure and the same as success. That's why I don't believe in balance. You integrate
So I agree
things.
with you with the balance. I do believe that there's really no like life work balance. So sometimes work would demand more of your time and sometimes family would demand more of your time, and it's not always like 50-50. It's just
No.
whatever that certain situation, you know, like want to take away from you, that's just it. It's just you. So I think you're like me, like us, when it comes to family. I'm very family oriented, and every major, not even major, so everything that we do in the business, we tell our kids. So all of the properties that we have, we house hack it, and then we tell them, okay, so like the property that we have right now, so we have a property and it has three dwellings in it. One of it we're renting out midterm, long term, and the other one we're doing short term because it's an Airbnb. And so we always tell our kids that, because for us, and we tell them it's only going to be for a few years, and then we can live the life that we want after that. So it's just a sacrifice, because again, this is going to be almost our second year in real estate, and we're just getting there. So sacrifices in the beginning so that you can live the life that you want 50 years after, right? And so
Yes.
we really tell our kids like what our plans are, and we always want to travel, and this is the way for us to get there. And so they're all very understanding, and most of them, when they turn 18, they said they told me, I have to buy a house when I turn 18. And they're like, we're still gonna live in your house, mom, but I want to buy my house so I can rent it out. I was like, okay, at least we're rubbing off on them, right? So that's one of the good things, and I like hearing that about people wherein they really integrate the business that they have and in the family that they want to have. So that's really amazing. I really admire people that they're so I think what motivates you is again your family, your son, not going to work but then earning the money, having the money to do the things that you like to do. I guess that's one of your biggest motivation. And you already touched on the thing that you don't want to be a worker. Like what they trained us to do in school is to be a worker, save money and stuff. Why save money if you can grow it, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Definitely.
you already have multiple properties right now. What are you working on right now? Is there something that you're working on right now and you want us to, is there a way for us to help you, or
Um, so me and my team,
you want to have
Cheryl.
you're more of investor types too. So let us know what you're working on right now.
Yeah. So our team with Cheryl, Cheryl, Rodrigo, and Ruben, we are working on acquiring our first multifamily property. We're looking around Houston, Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio for a 20 unit and up to purchase, which is in the next, I would say, 5 months. And I'm sure we're gonna hit that mark. We are underwriting altogether properties that come along, and anything that would pencil out, we go after, or if it doesn't, I mean, we still make an offer. So anybody out there that are private money lenders, private money partners who are, we're gonna be syndicating this deal whenever it came to our plate. So if anybody has like an off or on market multifamily properties, and if you want to invest with us, we that's what we're looking for. I mean, that's what we are working right now. And I'm still gonna be looking at my backyard in Lake County, Kane, in the northwest suburb of Illinois. I don't touch Chicago Park, or that's Lake, or that's Cook County, or the south side of Chicago. It's
Mm-hmm.
pretty bad out there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have a lot of
Yeah.
friends in the Chicago area. Yeah, I've been. I don't know if you went to one of the meetings in there. I'd love to introduce you to a lot of my other friends in there, but they are in the Chicago proper. I don't know if you go that way, but yeah, definitely would love to introduce you to them. Um, so that's one of the. So you're mainly looking into multifamily, and that's a buy and hold for the partners, or do you have like a certain you wanna pivot into multifamily now,
No,
or you
actually,
still
that's
buy
what
and
we're
hold
looking for.
single? That's what you're looking for. Okay,
That's what we're
and
looking
so
for.
but you're okay, and you still buy and hold the plexus, the four plexus, duplexes, and single families in that
Yeah.
area as well. Okay. So if you're managing your own properties, right? So if for some reason I acquire a property somewhere you have a property at, are you okay? Are you branching out to managing other people's properties too, or you're just concentrating on yours?
So as long as it's within my, like, in Lake County, yeah, that's fine. I'm always I have I'm always open to helping other people,
That's
because
great.
at
So
the end
that's
of the
that's
day,
mm-hmm.
if a pipe burst, I'm not the one who's going to the property. I call my handyman. Can you check on this and that? I'm done
Yeah.
with doing those things,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which which a lot of people would like possible investors. They don't want to be landlords because they don't want to get a call in the middle of the night that there's a leaking faucet. I never
Mm-hmm.
I never got a call in the middle of the night. And if there's
Yeah.
a problem, I would ask a handyman, can you check on this and that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. That's one thing. So one thing that I pivot onto, because before when I was doing it on my own, I have VAs that take care of my stuff now. But when I was doing it on my own, I would get those calls. I would get those Airbnb messages and stuff. But now I'm veering away towards that, and I'm renting my properties to organizations, and so they take care of the property management and the maintenance and all that stuff. And I hear nothing anymore. They would still go to me with major issues, but since renting to a company already, they would have to take
Mhm.
care of all those stuff. I don't even need to screen tenants, which is one of the great things, like living in Massachusetts, because they give grants for that. And so that's one of the things that I like doing, and I actually advocate for that partner of mine, because we cater to transitional housing, wherein HR, foster care, seniors, sober, domestic violence, veterans, all the walks of life that are having a hard time right now, they get grants from the government, and it's so hard for us to convince as the landlords or property managers to rent to those type of people unless they are really educated. So that's what I do for them. I advocate for them, and as long as they're okay to sublease the property, we can put them in the program. So that's one more thing. And I on my part, it works because, again, you help more people that way because they're transitioning, and the headache as a property management too kind of alleviates it. So yeah. So going back to serving people as a nurse, you've been doing that like day in day out, right? But what are you passionate about with regards to helping people?
My biggest satisfaction being a nurse, working as a nurse, is seeing a patient that's almost bedridden come to our rehab hospital, and after 2 weeks they're walking out the door. That is the greatest achievement
Mhm.
as a nurse. I know it's a team effort, but nurse, physical therapist, occupational therapist, and speech therapist, having somebody walk out the door, walking, happy, going home to their house is one of the greatest achievement. And especially dealing with behavioral patients because they have some medical condition or mental disorder because of their medical condition, and they get straightened up before discharge. That's one of the best, it's, I
Mhm.
would say, the gift of caring for people. It's really a challenge because
Mhm.
we don't deal as a nurse. We don't just deal with regular individuals. We deal with sick, difficult, and challenging patients.
All
So
right. So that's great because I think coming from the country that we're from, the Philippines, it's very much like ingrained in our system to care for others. Like we're one of those Asians that really care for our elders. It doesn't matter. I remember us taking care of my grandfather who has Alzheimer's dementia, and we would bathe him. He would, when they have dementia, they would go anywhere, and then
yeah,
we would wash them and all that stuff. And it's not like a uh, what do you call that? What do you call pabigat I'm kind of losing
it
the
is a
words.
burden. Sometimes,
It's not a yeah, it's not
mhm,
a burden for us. It's not a burden
mhm,
for us doing that because it's for someone that we care about and love. And I think when you become a nurse, it kind of translates there that it's not a burden. It's really like we really want to help and make these people's lives better. And firsthand, when my husband was in the hospital, I saw how much care the nurses are there. It doesn't matter if they're Filipinos or not. It's just when you are a nurse, the care really is there, and it doesn't matter who you are in there. They're just gonna give you the care. And so my heart goes out to everyone in the healthcare field. I've I've wanted to be a nurse before. I thought I wanted to be a nurse. But then when I shadowed someone in the ICU over in Mass General here in Boston, I became so emotional with everyone. I was like, yeah, I would be like a definite, I would go crazy when if I am in that situation. It's so I went into the admin field. I take care of the doctors and their licensing and everything. I didn't go to the care part of the patient. I was like, I'm just gonna take care of my doctors. But yeah, I was so emotional, and so I can't, and I want to be in the PD department. So I was like, yeah, I can't do it. So hats off to all of you nurses there, especially when COVID came.
oh,
You guys like stepped up, and it's amazing. So yeah.
it is a profession that is helping people, patients, and at the
Mhm.
same time you get paid to help people.
Exactly. Exactly. So going back to investing in real estate, I think that certain care for other people is going to play a big part because they will see that because I we work on foreclosure and pre-foreclosures,
Mhm.
and so the first thing that we want to go into is like, how do we solve your problem? How do we make you not homeless? How do we keep you from bankruptcy and all? So we might buy your property, we might not, you might get foreclosed on, but at least we gave you all the information that we know before you went through all that. At the end of the day, it's the homeowner's decision that will determine the outcome of their property. But at least we were there to give them you know the things that they can do prior to being foreclosed on or bankruptcy and stuff. And it breaks my heart sometimes that people are not open to that. But you could only do what you can do. You can't really force anyone. But yeah, that's one thing that I want to focus on too, is like really helping someone that couldn't afford properties. And that's why I like the community that we're at, because if you
Yeah.
don't know something, you can ask someone in there, and they speak life experiences. I've encountered that before, this and this and that, what you do, right? And with regards to you, you're investing. Um, you mentioned going back to the community, and I think your journey is very inspiring. Um, Coming from the Philippines, working your butt off since then, and having that kind of like business minded already when you were little, and coming into here, you're like very natural. You find, so did you get help in finding the deal? So you just learned it on your own and just went on your own, and now you have a team.
Oh no, my first deal, the one that I bought last year. It was so we have a TCA. Those people that who don't know what a TCA is a transaction coordinator. Her name is Rinda Ernick. He is really great.
Oh, Rindemic. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was the one who handled everything. She got the blunt of everybody on both sides. But I was like, he just updates me, whatever that whatever is necessary. Anyway, so yeah, without Rinda, I don't know how to do things. You only know what you know.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's one more thing too. I mean, you can go places doing it yourself, but you can go faster and quicker with a team, because you kind of
Yes.
like have this community helping each other, and there's so much in the pot that everybody can share, right? And
Yeah.
so I encourage people too to really like reach out there, and if there's something that you cannot do, some other people can do it as well, and then just bring them into your team. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to build my team. I mean, I belong to a few teams, but I want to I want to build a team that really aligns with what I'm looking for. And so your future plans, other than the multi-family that people can go to you, any other plans for 2025? Are you going to start your own podcast, or are you going to do something else? What is it for James for
Um,
2025?
so 2025 is buying a multifamily property with my team, Cheryl, Ruben, and Rodrigo.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe purchase 2 to 3 more properties for my portfolio within my backyard,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe start my private money lending or be a private money partner,
Mm-hmm.
and open 2 more policies for my infinite banking.
Oh, okay. Have you explored, you said infinite banking, right?
Yes, I
Or like
actually already
equity?
have 3 policies already. I got 2 policies for my wife and one for my son.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, yeah. That's one thing that we are working on as well. Generational wealth and being our own lender. Because at the end of the day, you want that money just going in circles, right? So yeah, any quotes that you want to share to the people that you go by
Take
that might
action. Take
take
action.
action?
Those 2 words.
Yeah.
For the past 5 years, for the past
Mm-hmm.
5 years before I started in 2022,
Mm-hmm.
I've been educating myself and watching podcasts at night. I watch podcasts while my
Mm-hmm.
peers are watching Facebook. I listen to
Mm-hmm.
podcasts, listen to whatever financial um, literature that will come across. I'm basically like YouTube in the morning, YouTube at night, watching all about real estate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And I've
kind of like.
ingrained myself with all this information for the past 5 years. My only problem was I didn't take action
Mm,
before 2022. Now I
yeah.
said 2022, I have to do something. That's why when we purchased a property in February 22 of 2022, my wife don't know, has nothing, she didn't know. I said, I just have to do it. I
Yeah.
just have to do it
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what the outcome is.
Yep.
Now, everything is snowball.
Mm-hmm.
Planning is not gonna make you successful. It
Mm-hmm.
is taking action that's gonna
Execution.
gauge your success.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an architect, they draw plans. If the construction engineer is not gonna lay the first brick, no building is gonna be standing in that lot. You have to
Yeah.
take action. We have the same amount of time, the same amount of, seconds in a day. It is the amount of action that would gauge you what you've done in a single day. That's why I do things fast. I don't care. I don't waste time thinking of what I wanted to eat. So as long as I put something in my stomach, drink, that's it. But you're
Yeah.
gonna ask me, we go to the restaurant. Oh, what do you want me? What do you want to eat? I tell my wife, you order for me, and I'll check something. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be wasting time of thinking of nonsensical things. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to maximize every single bit of my time. Take
Mm-hmm.
action, do things fast. If you made a mistake, you have time to rectify it later on.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take too much time deciding of what you wanted to do. Take take action because of what you think. If you made a mistake, you can change it and adapt.
Yeah. So a lot of people get into that analysis paralysis, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah, I was that person before because I was like, I want to be like, I want to know everything before I start. But until you take action, until you start that cold call, until
Mm-hmm.
you never know what the other person's gonna do. I remember the first cold call that I did. I was like super ready. I know the property and everything, and then lo and behold, no one answers the phone for like the few five, a few five calls. I was like, what the heck was I doing? So
Mm-hmm.
unless you really take action and you just again when you go into I never say on the phone, I never say I don't know the answer, but I would say that is a good question, let me get back to you and get an expert and do that. So the more calls you make, the more time you talk to people, the more you know. So I'm like of a doer too. So
Mm-hmm.
unless I do it, then I get familiarized with it, then I know what to do. So yeah, a lot of people get stuck on that, especially those in the if they've been working forever, which a lot of us were, because we went to school, we had to study everything before we go into the job, right? So with the real estate field, it's very different. It's you have to take action. If you encounter a problem, there's always a solution. So a lot of us are problem solvers, I would say, because we encounter a problem, we definitely have to find a solution. So that's very good. Take action is really something that I do as well. And yeah, continuously to do so. My plans for 2025 is to have a senior facility, assisted living facility, hopefully by first quarter of the month. And I'm gonna do everything to make that happen. And with you, it's this multifamily. Yeah, and to anyone who wants to follow um, James on his journey, I will put in your Instagram and everything you want to, and all the socials that you have that you want to share with them. If you want them to contact you, schedule a call with you with regards to what you did and how you did that first deal. I know you mentioned that you're great with finances and you're okay with underwriting. Maybe some people in here that are starting would be like, hey James, is it okay if I give you this address and you help me underwrite it? Is this something that you're okay with? Or
Definitely. One thing that I've learned: always ask. If
Mhm.
you didn't ask, you wouldn't know,
Mhm.
right?
Exactly,
Always
exactly.
ask. I only have Facebook as my socials. I don't have Instagram. I've been stubborn, I would say. But you can look me up, James Bocalbos Jr. That's all in my Facebook. I only have one name. I'm planning of opening putting up my Instagram,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't
You
know.
should,
Maybe
you
that's one of
should.
my
A
goals.
lot of yeah, yeah. That should be your goal. Putting up
Yeah,
that, and that's an easy goal to make. You can have your son do it for you. How old is he now? 5.
3 years old.
I know. Okay, have your wife do it and just and because I'm pretty sure, like, I don't have like a huge following on YouTube yet, but
Mhm,
just in Facebook and alone, a lot of people would go and reach out for you. So I will put this is gonna be public, the
mhm,
streaming in here, and I'm gonna tag you on all the reels and everything that I make. But yeah, that's one thing. If you need help in doing your Instagram or whatever, I'm here.
mhm.
That's one thing that I know how to do.
Yeah, one thing that I would want to touch, a lot of, you know, the average entry worker in the United States is what age?
Workers, you mean?
Yes. The average worker is about 20 to 30 years old. That's
Mm-hmm.
when they die. Because you know why they die?
Okay.
Because they get employed, they become comfortable, they start dreaming, they start setting goals.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes their W 2, even a lot of nurses, their W 2 is their final destination. That's all they wanted to do for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
They stop dreaming, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't know between the start of their job, of their career, and when they get injured. Just to let you know, there are four workers at my job right now.
Mm-hmm.
They are sick with cancer. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have any backup plans,
Mm-hmm.
no stream of income. FMLA would only cover you 3 months. After
Yeah.
3 months, they can let you go.
Mm-hmm.
If you're let go, no income, no stream of income, no health care, how can you pay for your health needs?
That's nothing. Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
A lot of W 2 employees don't have any backup plans
Mm-hmm.
in terms of finances. That's very sad
Mm-hmm.
because we were molded in a mindset that we have to be employees.
So that's why doing live like this would give information to other people, right? So starting
Yes.
your Instagram and letting them know, hey, I'm a nurse. I've done this forever. And now I'm pivoting in here because even if I don't become a nurse anymore, I have properties that would, you know, that would carry on my bills and stuff, even if I'm not working. So, starting a social media following, I think is great. I mean, little by little, this is kind of your calling card to all of the other people right there. So it's especially you, there's a lot of nurses out there. They have the money in the bank, they don't know what to do with it, right? They are just saving it. Might as well, hey, invest here, grow your money this way, or buy a property that way, so yeah. So to anyone watching, I will put all of James info on the description on this YouTube content. And don't forget to subscribe on our channels and ask us questions. We will definitely answer it if you ask us any questions. So, any last words for our viewers, James, before we leave? And again, thank you for your time. I know we've like talked for an hour.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, let's talk for like 30 minutes, 45, but it's an hour. It's just we're both talkers anyway. But yeah, any last words for our viewers from you?
Don't save. Take action. Let that money in the bank work for you. Don't let the bank use it for their own benefit. Invest your money. Don't save.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, James, again. And I'm pretty sure we're going to talk again. And yeah, thank you so much. If I don't talk to you, and I'm pretty sure I will, have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I know this is the last Friday and I haven't even done my gifts yet. So, so bad.
I just ordered my wife's gifts last night.
I don't have a gift for my husband yet. I was like, oh. I'm just gonna whatever. He might forget I have like something up there. But yeah, I have done nothing yet. Oh my goodness. But I still have the weekend, so yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much again. And if you are planning to come by Massachusetts, feel free to knock on my door and you can stay at my house and stuff. All right?
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for staying with us. And yeah, I appreciate all the um, everyone who watched, and we'll see you again. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button. Bye.